So this is really weird. You're going to see this circle kind of appear in the driveway, and you can go back and restart the video to watch it appear. I just happened to look up at the camera right when this happened. I can't remember if I saw it appear. I almost think I did. I can't remember. It was pretty shocking. So I'm watching on the camera. I'm thinking like, oh, it's probably just a drop of water on the camera. And as you can see, the rain goes between this circle orb thing and the camera. So it's not a drop of water. That's not it. It has no effect when there's a car that goes by that, you know, the headlights shine on it. It has no effect on that. If it was something on the camera, it probably would have cut the glare and change. It doesn't change at all. And as you watch it, it appears and it's there for like a couple minutes and then it literally just dissolves. But as you're watching it, there's like this like glimmer or this like light that kind of does something in the middle of it. If you really look at the orb thing, I'm calling it a portal because I don't know what else to call it. It's very strange. It doesn't move, but there's something inside of it that kind of like moves, almost like a light that scans kind of. And you can see a bug flying around, a couple bugs for reference. So it's not a bug, it's not water. As you can see from the video, it appears out of nowhere and then it just dissolves. No, I did not go out and check it out. I was not going outside to check it out. I wanted nothing to do with this thing. I just sat there and watched it on the camera the whole time, and it was just super creepy. Now, what's also weird is that around this couple week period, we were seeing a lot of weird things in the sky. So 2 days before this, on September 15th, I caught some strange orbs in the sky, and about 2 weeks before that, on July 31st, oh sorry, no more than 2 weeks, a month and a half, before that, July 31st, is when we first started seeing these weird orange lights in the sky. And they are not Chinese lanterns. They are not drones. I mean, the place where we live and the location of these things, it makes no sense. There was no wind. They were moving quite quickly. They look like balls of light in the sky. The cameras on my phone, I have an iPhone, it just doesn't pick up what we were seeing with our eyes. Not that we could see anything different or like better, I should say, but they just look like balls of light in the sky and they were moving quite quickly. And the July 31st videos, they move in an arc and there's about 5 or 6 of them. The one in September 15th was really creepy, and there's actually a story that goes behind it. I only caught 20 seconds of it, so I'm only going to see about 20 seconds of the September 15th lights in the sky. I think there was like 3 or 4 that night, and they were on the opposite side of the yard or house. I was in the backyard, sitting by the fire alone. And I saw 1 or 2 go over, and then I saw a third one, I think it was the third one, come up, and it started coming right at me. And the other ones like did this arc thing like the July 31st ones. But then this third one, it was like it knew consciously that I was looking at it and it was coming right at me, and I freaked out, and I couldn't like run inside. I couldn't stop looking at it. It was the weirdest experience. And I also had a weird dream not that long ago. Like there's been a lot of weird things that have been happening. So again, September 15th, 2 days before this video, I'm watching these orange lights in the sky. This is the second time it's happening. This time it's different. The one started coming right at me. I called my husband on his cell phone. I was just in the backyard because if I had yelled, he wouldn't have heard me. The dogs weren't outside with me. I was completely alone. It comes out and it goes behind these large trees by our house, and it stays there for quite some time. And then it comes out and it's pretty close to the house, but it's going up overhead, and then it just kind of dissolves or disappears right by our house. But it was really close. So we got a much better look at it that time than the July 31st ones because they were a bit further away. But it just looked like a ball of light. It was the strangest thing. We were completely dumbfounded. So again, as you can see from September 17th, the portal orb video that you're watching, it just dissolves and it disappears and there's nothing there. So the next video you'll see is the September 15th ones that I was just talking about. This is the one that came at me, I think. I'm pretty sure this is the one that came at me, and this was right as it was over the house. Yeah, this is right as it was over the house, and it just dissolves and disappears. I didn't catch it coming at me. I was too busy on my phone trying to get my husband to come out and make sure I didn't get abducted. So here's the July 31st videos. This is when it first started happening. We saw, I want to say, like, definitely 5, I think 6 or more of these things. They came almost spaced out. pretty equally spaced out. It'd be like one and then another, and they were doing this like arcing thing. Now it looks like they're twinkling, but they're not. They're not flashing or anything like that. They're just going in between the tree branches, and there's still leaves on the trees, so it's kind of cutting out the light. So it looks like they twinkle and like they flash, but that's not what's happening. They're just these weird orange balls of light, and they're very orange, pretty bright. They were moving fast, and on both of these nights, it was not windy. The night was very clear. There was like one cloud in the sky, and it wasn't even near these things. I'm pointing at, you can see a star, there's a star like above these things, and I don't know if you can see it from the video, but that's what I'm pointing at. And then I point to these things. Height wise, I'm not good with height, but it was quite a ways up there. I don't know, maybe half a mile, I guess. It was pretty high up, and they would all get to this certain point in the sky, and they would all dissolve and just disappear. And these ones were pretty spaced out. They moved in kind of like a formation. And again, I'll reiterate, these are not Chinese lanterns. They were moving way too fast. There was no wind to move these things. They were too uniform in their spacing and movements. There seemed to be some kind of intelligence. I don't want to project, but they weren't just moving floating objects randomly. I mean, there was something more to these things, especially a month and a half later when the one was coming at me. The way it moved was very intelligent. And those ones on September 15th seemed to move based off of consciousness. Me seeing it and getting freaked out by it, it came right at me. Like it was quite unnerving, to say the least. And after the portal happened, about, I don't know, probably like 2 weeks later, I had a really weird dream. So about a week or two later, I had this dream where there was this bell-shaped UFO over my house, and I'm looking up at it from the back porch. And in the dream, I think I'm saying or thinking to myself, like, oh, that's what they mean when people say they see a bell-shaped UFO. I never understood it until this dream. I've never seen a UFO like this in any of my quote-unquote dreams before. And it paralyzed me. I was trying to scream, and it was almost like this like bubble, soundproof bubble was around me. Like it was very muffled, like a whisper. I couldn't yell out for help, and I was like, it was almost like a sleep paralysis, but it wasn't a sleep paralysis. In the dream, I was like yelling for help, and I couldn't really move, but I finally got free, and I ran inside, and I got the dogs inside with me, and this, again, is a dream. And I was trying to get to my husband, and it was just really scary, and I felt like it was like coming to get me and like abduct me or whatever. But that came like, I don't know, again, like a week or two after the portal thing happened. So in this video, I'm pointing out where I saw the lights and on what date, just to kind of give you an idea of how high they are and what it would look like in the daytime versus the night. This is just a random video of a storm I took, so for reference. Anyways.